David Garza's photo sits on a mantel in his family's home, surrounded by candles, birthday balloons, and the silver urn containing his remains, something his 12-year-old son Aiden says he can barely touch.
Because I don't like the feeling of him being cold, because he's always a warm guy. Really cozy, too. Every time I would have hugged him, I would feel like I'm touching a cloud.
David collapsed on December 30th, 2020 while running errands, one of the now 1 million Americans who have died from COVID-19. While many look forward to the end of the pandemic, families such as Aiden's show its profound and enduring impact. His mother, Margaret, made sure that both her sons, Aiden and his brother Julius, now 14, had counseling to help deal with their grief.
The grief is the love that we have for your dad, that we'll never forget him because he's in our heart and our soul.
We always gotta save a little spot for him.
Absolutely, yeah.
But older brother Julius has had a tougher time accepting that sentiment. He remembers more than Aiden about what life was like before that day late in 2015 when Margaret and David Garza adopted the boys, who had been in the foster care system. Their birth mother had abandoned them. Their birth father was sent to prison. Julius is struggling to understand losing David after all the boys went through.
Dad dying was was so far the saddest thing that has ever happened to me in my life. And I can never forgive that. Sometimes I would think about him, yes, mostly when we pray, and I'm always gonna love him.
Deep racial disparities among kids who lost at least one parent or caregiver to COVID reflect the course of a disease that has illuminated inequities in areas such as healthcare. Sandra McGowan Watts, whose husband Stephen Watts died of COVID in May of 2020, has been trying to maintain as much of her 13-year-old daughter Justice's routine as possible. Last summer, when the bushes in their yard needed to be trimmed, Justice found her dad's hedge trimmers and got to work.
She does not talk about her grief, not to me. But then she'll do things that kind of mirror what he would do. Like this week I was off work, so we cleaned the garage, and she went out to help me clean the garage, and she was cleaning the things that, some of the things that he would normally do.
No government program is tracking the number of American families in which at least one primary caregiver has died of COVID, but researchers' estimates put the number at over 213,000.